Hey everybody, welcome to Storm Talk. Wave 3 News meteorologist Brian Good. Sorry I didn't get a chance to get a blog out yesterday, but today I'm able to get one out. We'll talk about a pattern. It's going to develop into a blocking pattern, which usually means quiet weather if we're on the good side of the block, and that looks to be the trend for our area as we head into the upcoming weekend. So really at this point, no storms of interest that would cause any eyebrows to raise when it comes to threat for strong and severe weather. So that's some good news to start off with. I take you outside area. If you look carefully, there's mainly blue sky overhead. There's hardly a cloud to be found, but there is a little batch of small areas of cumulus that did try to develop. Can you see them? Let me take you a little closer. Right across the Louisville area, Bullitt County and Spencer County for about 2 to 3 hours this afternoon. They developed, but they're already beginning to fade away. So that's all she wrote on that end. Temperatures have been moderating. We're now up to 56. That's sun warm on the ground up from the south, and nice warming trend. For a couple more hours, then we're going to cool down tonight. Cool enough that we already have frost advisories out east of Louisville. Mainly east of 65, frost advisory, and this is a freeze watch, maybe upgraded here in the next hour for our northern counties there of Jackson and Lawrence. Jennings not included, which is a little odd. But either way, we still, I think, if I had to draw an area that has the best chance to see frost, I think it's going to be an area like this, and then east has the best chance to see frost for tonight. All right, so this morning was actually some of the water froze in all the cars and created some very cool looking patterns, but there was no frost really on the grassy areas. It's mainly on the cars that witnessed that today. So it was an unusual kind of frost deal this morning. Tomorrow morning it will be frost on the grassy areas in some cases, so that's the reason why frost advisories have been put out. The Triple R model, or the HER model, did the best, I think, last night, and now it can only go out to about 4:30 in the morning so far, but it did the best on temperatures, and by the trend already at 4:30 in the morning, this is already telling me that this is the spot that has the best chance to see frost and getting close to a freeze in some cases, areas north and northeast and east of Louisville. All right, so here's the pattern. I'm going to animate this. This is the upper level jet, and you can see the outline of the jet basically through the Great Lakes, and then we got a subtropical jet here to the south. Watch when I animate. You can almost see the block that develops. It's right over the eastern part of the country is where that block will develop there. Systems try to move in, and as the system moves across California, it hits a roadblock, and you see the flow shoot up into Canada. I can't draw on this at the moment, so I can't show you, but basically the trough moves in, it senses the high pressure that's ahead of it, and as it does so, that flow then gets forced into Canada. It's a blocking pattern. That means nothing really can bother us for several days. Now, there could be a low that could undercut that. We'll talk about that next. And then as we head toward thunder, and perhaps beyond, we will see systems break down that block. The problem is how quickly will they move west to east over the lower 48. Another sign of the block, the NAO. Anytime it goes negative, good blocking signal. That is certainly there. Strong agreement on that. Last time we did that, by the way, for an extended period, it was back into early to mid-January when we saw the flip of winter. Remember that? When it was warm all December, we're like, when's the flip going to happen? And it flipped to mid-January. The NAO, a blocking pattern, causes unusual patterns in the lower 48. This time around, the block is coming back, but because the other teleconnections at play, the block is in our favor. This time, instead of cold, it is going to be warm. It's going to be a dominant factor. We will have to watch this low pressure. It's going to try to undercut that blocking pattern right over the deep south. Now, as we get into Thursday and Friday, there's certainly some cloud potential over our southern counties. At this point, anything moisture-wise just looks limited. This is its closest point right here, 5 o'clock in the morning on Friday. Not too impressed with the moisture. It's going to be a fairly dry atmosphere this week. Main moisture to the south, so we'll keep the rain pops in there. Our chances real low, but we may be able to take them out if we get more data that hints that the high is going to keep everything suppressed. The problem we're going to have, though, is because of this block, it's going to be really difficult to say when the next system will be able to roll out, or perhaps systems, because blocking patterns really play havoc with models. They are sometimes too aggressive in throwing out a system at us, and they don't realize how blocked everything is, and they need to slow down a little bit. So, having said that, let me zoom ahead now toward thunder. This is the 22nd, Friday of April. Low pressure to our west. Now, the block is gone at this point. You can tell that by looking at the trough. Now, we're dry, nice weather here, and as we get into thunder, that low moves right over us for a rainy and stormy thunder over Louisville. Don't panic. Reason why is the blocking pattern is already going to cause havoc with the timing of even that system, so it very well could already be to our east by the time we get into thunder, or it could still be back here to our west on thunder itself. So Still, a low confidence forecast on Thunder because of the blocking pattern. It's going to be real difficult to tell when the pattern breaks, how quickly then will low pressures begin to attack us and give us some rainfall. So stay tuned for more on that. We'll try to keep you updated as we get closer. Looking at El Nino, by the way, I do want to mention El Nino, the heat energy is, gone. In fact, it's beginning to cool now across the Eastern Pacific. And looking at the long-range models, they are still hinting at La Nina coming back as we head into this upcoming fall. Perhaps a significant La Nina. I stand by the idea that last time we saw a significant flip like this from El Nino to La Nina on significant ends, and we had cold weather in April that did mirror the summer of '88 quite well, which was a hot and dry summer for us. So at this point, that's the strong signal we have. That's the only signal I can look at this point since it's so far out, but we'll trend it as always. All right, guys, that's it for now. We'll see you today at beginning of 5.